Welcome to Closely Observed English. Hi, we're here today to look at CEFR, or CEFR, or CEFR. This is the Common European Framework for Languages. In other words, a way of seeing how good or how bad you are at speaking a foreign language. But let's keep positive. It's about how good you are. We begin by looking at Band A. These are basic users of the English language. At level A1, you'll learn about the present simple and present continuous tense. You'll have a quick look at some past tenses and future tenses. But in terms of vocabulary, it's very basic things, simple objects and things that you can see and touch and that you use every day. You can have a small conversation with a native speaker if they speak nice and slowly so you can understand. Band A2, however, becomes a little bit more challenging. You study a lot more grammar, you look at more tenses, including present perfect, but you don't look at past perfect yet. You might look at some conditionals and your vocabulary will increase. You'll be able to talk about a range of different topics, including health, sport, travel, shopping, and the weather, of course. This is English after all. Who can't talk about the weather? You should be able to reach level A2 after 180 to 200 hours of study, and on the Cambridge scale, you would then be able to do the Cambridge English Key Test, otherwise known as the CET exam. Students at level B are independent users of the English language. At level B1, you'll encounter the past perfect tense. You'll also learn about reported statements, that's what she said, and reported questions. In vocabulary, you'll start to learn more phrasal verbs, including those where the words don't mean the same in the phrasal verb as they do on their own. You'll also be able to talk about a wider range of topics, including health, the environment, and the future. At the end of this level, you'll be able to take the Cambridge English Preliminary, or PET, exam, and you should reach the end of this level after 350 to 400 hours of study. Next comes level B2. At level B2, you'll have encountered pretty much everything there is to encounter for grammar. You won't be perfect at it, but you'll know how to use it and you'll know that it exists. And here I'm talking about things like inversion for emphasis and mixed conditionals. In vocabulary, you'll start to learn more about collocation, words that go together, verb patterns, for example, and also about connotation, when words have a positive or a negative meaning attached to them. For example, the difference between skinny, which some people think is negative, and slim, which most people think is either neutral or positive. You'll also start to learn more academic skills. You'll get better at writing essays and articles and reports. And at the end of this level, you'll be able to take the Cambridge English First exam, or FCE. Reaching this level requires about 500 to 600 hours of study. Finally, we come to the third level, C. Here you're a proficient user of the English language. Starting with level C1, here you'll learn better how to use all of the grammar at your disposal, and you'll find that there's an explosion of vocabulary. For example, you'll learn that the word put can be used as a phrasal verb in nearly 100 different ways. You can put off, put on, put together, put over, put across, put down. Pretty much any preposition you can think of goes with the word put, and you'll learn them all at level C1. You'll be able to understand nuance in language. You'll be able to understand why a writer has chosen particular words. So as well as understanding an article, you'll understand, for example, the philosophical or political viewpoint of the writer of that article. At the end of this level, you'll be able to do the Cambridge English Advanced test. and this level represents 700 to 800 hours of study. When you reach level C2, here, you'll know everything there is to know about grammar. You'll know more than most native speakers, in fact, because if you go to England and ask somebody on the street what present perfect is, most people won't be able to tell you. You'll be able to tell them and teach them, probably. In terms of vocabulary, again, there's a massive expansion in what you know. You'll know that instead of just using the word talkative, you could also use garrulous or loquacious, and you'll know the difference in their meanings. You'll also know that most people don't know garrulous and loquacious, and you'll stick with talkative. But the important thing is that you know that these words exist, and you know how to spell them. You'll be able to talk about a lot of situations that are unfamiliar or that don't occur in daily life. You'll be able to talk, for example, for 2 minutes about how noise affects people and how public transport could be made more efficient. At the end of this level, you'll be able to do the Cambridge English Proficiency exam, or CPE, and this level represents 1,000 to 1,200 hours of study.